This month, we are celebrating women's history. In today's Page Turners, Tuscola Public Library is sharing a few stories, all featuring the lives of inspiring women. We have Devin Black, Library Director, joining us now over Zoom. Hi, Devin. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, yay, women. We've got three great books here that all feature the lives of inspiring women. So why don't we hear about those?
All right, let's just start off with the one I have on top. That's usually the best way to start. We have She Persisted, 13 American Women Who Changed the World. I have it right here. Usually the graphics guys have it somewhere too. They do a great job. They throw it up. This is a picture book. So this is aimed at, like my daughter's in first grade, a little bit younger even. And it just gives you the story of three American women like Virginia Apgar, who became a surgeon. And she's the one that is responsible for the Apgar score that, when you test the newborn's health and stuff, you spank them and stuff like that,
Yes.
Well, so what I wanted to say was there's actually quite a few people in this book that I've not heard of before, or I only know only a little bit about. So as I was reading this, to bring it onto the show, I was like, hey, I'm learning stuff now. So it's for adults will learn something too. It's always good.
And I still remember reading those books as kids about historical figures. And I remember reading a book similar to that one about the woman who invented chocolate chip cookies and how it was a total accident. Like she thought that throwing the chocolate chips would melt the cookie into a chocolate cookie. Anyway, but yeah, it stays with you apparently.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that just underscores the importance of picture books and stuff and learning, even when you're younger. I think it's great.
All right, what's next?
All right, so I don't usually bring a lot of graphic novels on but this one's too good to pass up. This is a graphic novel. It's for kids too, but I mean a bit older. This is called Noisemakers: 25 Women Who Raised Their Voices and Changed the World.
Can we see the inside of it a little bit?
Well, yeah. So everything is prefaced by like a little informational, blurb about, this is Rosa Parks, so it tells you who Rosa Parks is. And then, of course, if I can flip a page without dropping the book on the camera, you've got...
Very cool.
We've got the bust right here. I assume now, I've read this, but I assume as you go through the pages, we'll see the whole bus incident and everything, and you'll learn a little bit more about Rosa Parks. And this is, again, these are all figures and stuff that we should try to be aware of, I guess, at an early age. And I feel bad that I don't know every woman in these books and stuff, that I feel like I should have learned more as a youngster, but it's never too late.
And that's the beauty of reading. I know there's also one, I think this might be an adult book, but yep, the mothers of three very important figures in American history. So let's talk about that.
Now, the reason I brought this book is it's brand new.
It looks brand new. It's shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny, and it's got my light that I have to make my face not all shadowy on this side going. But what are you going to do? It's called The Three Mothers. Thank you, graphics people. They're the best. How the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and James Baldwin shaped a nation. So we know about James Baldwin, very famous author, one of my favorites, and we know Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., but this is focused solely on their mothers and how their upbringing of their kids, basically shaped a lot of literature, political, sphere, all that. And so it's a different take, but it is for adults. It's not for kids, obviously, this one. Even though the kids' books are sometimes more fun, I think you'll learn a lot from this one. And it's just an interesting way of looking at history that, normally if you study Martin Luther King Jr., you'll look at what he wrote, you'll look at events surrounding him, but not necessarily his mom and his upbringing, which is a unique look.
Yeah, and they say, behind every great man is a great woman, and mothers definitely play an important part in that role, I'm sure.
Yeah, love you, Mom. Thanks for making me who I am.
Shout out to Mom. So sweet. Okay, Devin, really quickly, we've got some new events here at Tuscola Public Library, so let's talk about those.
We're still doing things virtually at the moment. Virtual story time happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Miss Marta does the story times. When she can't do them, I fill in, and I just got to tell you, she does a better job. So you really want Miss Marta to be reading you stories. We also have a virtual book discussion. We have book discussions every last Wednesday. This time we're going to do Dreamland, the true tale of America's opiate epidemic. And that is going to be interesting. We kind of chose that in the sense that we moved from book to book genre to genre, and we hadn't done a nonfiction book for a while. And so we decided to do one that isn't about like pandemics like COVID and stuff, but parallel to it. So we're going to read about the opiate epidemic and see what kind of parallels we can draw to, the current situation. Why not?
I'm sure over Zoom, those book discussions and book debates can get pretty heated, right?
That's why I have a special mute button that I can mute everybody with. That's no, there. I've never had to use it before to shut somebody up, so I don't want to do that, and it never happens.
Hey, there you go. It's the mute and the no video button are very helpful in these crazy times. So, Devin, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all your book recommendations.
All right, thanks for having me.
Of course, for anyone interested in getting connected with Tuscola Public Library, we've got you linked online at ciliving.tv.
I feel like we